will start the meeting by confirming that remote members and participants can hear and be heard. When I say your name, please just answer in the affirmative that you can hear and we can hear you. Mr. Thomas?
Yep, can hear you.
There's nobody
Yep.
calling right now.
Love that accent.
Dave?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. So good evening. It is 7:03 p.m. This open meeting of the Grafton Zoning Board of Appeals is being conducted both remotely and in person, consistent with Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022, extending the remote meeting protocols through March 31st, 2025. This meeting is convening via Zoom video conference and in person, as posted on the meeting agenda, which can be found on the Town of Grafton website. Please see the meeting agenda for details on how to participate remotely. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. All participation within this meeting will be visible to others. Accordingly, please be aware that other people may be able to see you and that you should take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording and viewed later. This meeting may feature public comment. Anyone speaking, please state your name and address for the record. Use the raise hand feature in Zoom, and if you're just on the phone, the AV staff will allow you to speak. And all votes taken in this meeting will be done by a roll call vote. So the only item we have on the agenda this evening is the continuation of case number 902 for 55 North Main Street. So for this case, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll appoint both Alex and Jiffy as voting members.
And just so the applicant and the attorney know, Jiffy was not at the last meeting, but he did watch the video, and I do have his Mullen certificate that he watched everything in the last meeting.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I guess I'll turn it over to the applicant to see if there's anything, any follow-ups from last time that you wanted to start with.
Great. Well, thank you very much for having us, and good evening, Chairman Waller, members of the board, Attorney Matt Eckel with Fletcher Tilton on behalf of the applicant, Bella Benzi LLC. With me at the table is Julie Bavenzi, the owner of the property and the operator of Truth Organic Spa and Wellness Center. We also have Mr. Dave Feist from CMG Environmental on the Zoom, should he be needed. I guess to start, the basic follow-up, as I think the board's aware, we appeared about 3 weeks ago and discussed both the hardship we're seeking for a variance for parking in the front yard, as well as the special permit to extend a pre-existing non-conforming use. I believe the board made some progress towards a finding in those regards, and I'm happy to go through the details of what we're proposing exactly and why we believe we meet the criteria for both the variance and a special permit. However, we got into extended discussion about the Water Supply Protection Overlay District and how we would be able to meet those standards or only be proposing a certain level of improvement that the board was eligible to actually grant. Upon further review and discussion with ZBA staff and Mr. Berger, it was discovered we are in fact not within that overlay district, so that shouldn't be applicable to us at all, which rendered some of that discussion somewhat moot. So the potential plan updates, recalculations, additional peer review by Graves, all that became not necessary as of the day after our last hearing. So we're back before you again, just seeking the variance and the special permit based on the previously submitted plans. No updates were needed or were submitted through the board or staff. So again, I'm happy to kind of go through the whole proposal again and what we're seeking to do in rebuilding and parking and the relief we need, or if it pleases the board, we'll happily turn it back over just for discussion.
Okay. So any questions or comments from the board? Stage.
Nope.
So maybe Trina can fill us in on, so what happened the day after the
So
meeting?
it was my error, because on the plans, they gave us the calculations for the pervious and impervious. I didn't even check that they weren't in it. And the next morning, as I was driving, I called and had someone in the office check for me, and they are not in the water supply protection overlay district. So that is on me. I didn't check it like I should have done. So it became a moot point. So we didn't have to have Graves do the third party review on the pervious and all of that. So that
Okay.
was on me.
You know, I think some of the, if I may,
Mr. Yeomans?
some of the discussion, and pardon me while I'm holding this, I seem to have a little glitch here with the hearing assist. It's a pre-existing, non-conforming,
Yes.
and when was it built?
1920.
So it's a pre-existing, non-conforming lot. I think that the findings that we discussed, that were thoroughly discussed, and you know, we as a board, I think you don't want to see this go forward, and the findings are such that it should be allowed to go forward. And the pre-existing non-conforming, it's not in a water protection zone. And I think the setback was, what were we, was the setback in the back adequate for the building that's gonna be built? So there's no setback requirement that you're seeking. And so, you know, I think the findings that we seem to be hung up on was the water supply, you know, district. And
The pervious versus impervious.
Yeah.
Pervious versus impervious.
impervious, yeah,
Yep.
excuse me. And that's been done away with. So I don't, I think we had made some findings at that previous meeting,
We did.
at our original meeting.
Yep.
And those findings, I think, are applicable based on our, you know, in-depth discussion that we had with you prior to this meeting, at the last meeting. So I think that we can reference, perhaps we can reference, Mr. Chair, those findings. And
We can.
because they are documented in the recording, and the only thing that we were hung up on is the water supply, and that was a simple fix, actually. It was, hey, we all make mistakes, you know.
I just have a couple questions. So when was the original parcel purchased? Is that 55 where the building sits? What year was that purchased?
That was, you know, I'm really bad with years.
Hold on.
That was like 4 years ago. Could it be 5? It's
Which one? 50, wait, let me see. It'll be on the she bought it in,
2019.
oh, you bought it in 2017, my dear.
Oh, I did? I
You
guess
did.
I didn't move in until 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Because I have the assessor's card.
Okay.
So for the assessor's card, she bought it in 29/15 of 17.
And then the other parcel was
The other
in 24, 23.
Yes.
I think. That's
Yep.
what I saw. Okay. And
Mr. Chair, is this a question?
Sure.
So there was a question about the lot size, right? The existing versus the proposed, which on this document shows the same. Do we ever conclude that the 47,899 with the new lot changes any of the impervious coverage, or?
It doesn't matter, Jiffy, because they're not in the water supply protection overlay district.
Right, right. That part of it, right? But the calculations that are being shown here, the 20% versus the 39%, is that accurate because the plot was purchased before? The additional lot was purchased before this proposal?
So my understanding is because they're under common ownership, it becomes essentially one lot. So I think the existing 47,000, almost 48,000 lot size includes both parcels. So the combined parcel now.
Correct.
Does that answer your question, Shafi?
Yeah, they did. Thank you.
All right, and the setback that's required here is 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's 21.8.
Yep,
Correct.
21.8.
Okay. All right. So, is there any further questions or discussion from the board?
So that's the only exception at the moment, right? The front setback, 40 feet, 21.8 feet as opposed to 40 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, but to clarify, the 21.8 is the pre-existing building. The variance itself is for parking in the front yard because we're 10 feet off.
Correct.
Whereas the existing parking is right up on the property line. So that 21.8 is the pre-existing building. That's the dimension there.
Okay. Yeah. So
So we're not looking for relief for the building because that's pre-existing. We're looking for relief for the parking in the front yard, which is 10 feet instead of the 21.6 as established by the building.
But
Mr. Yeomans.
I recall pointing out that you've increased the handicapped accessibility, 2 spaces where you had 1 before. And you're also, in the building itself, you're making it more accessible because you're going to have a lift within the building. So, the parking has been increased, and I feel that we should grant that parking based on the increase in the amount of parking and the accommodation that the applicant has given to handicapped accessibility, which I think is significant.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any question on the. The benefits or the improvements. Resulting from this. And then, so on the back, there's no variance needed or no
No,
relief needed, correct?
nope, it's on the,
Which is the second, they're both fronts, right?
Second front,
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
yeah,
The second
2
front.
fronts, because you've got
The
High
rear
Street
front, yeah.
and then North Main. We've got a lot of lots in town that are like that. You'd be surprised. I'd have two fronts, two sides, no rears.
There's no one on the phone, correct?
And I don't think there's anybody who's in the meeting either.
Right, so at this time, entertain a motion to close the public hearing on case number 502.
So moved?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, we'll take a roll call vote. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
Yes.
Mr. Mejia,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. Public hearing is closed. And let's see, so we'll deal with the special permit first. Do you have
What do you
the
need?
notice? Oh, I have it.
Yeah, I don't have the notice.
For the special permit? So it would be,
I have it.
do you have it?
Yep.
Okay.
So you need a motion to grant a special permit to extend a pre-existing non-conforming structure to add an addition to the rear of the building and extend the time to rebuild the structure from 2 years to 3 years.
So moved?
Second.
So the motion's made and seconded. Take a roll call vote. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
Yes.
Mr. Mejia,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. Special permit's granted. And we also need a motion to grant a variance from section 4.2.3.2 for parking to be allowed within the front yard and within the setback in the NB zone.
So moved?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
Yes.
Mr. Mejia,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. The variance is granted. So,
So I've got 14 days to write the decision and get them in to sign it. I'm not in tomorrow, but it will get written Monday. They've got to review it, then I've just got to get them all in. After that, after I file it with the town clerk, then there's a 21-day appeal period. If everything's ready to get submitted, have your contractors get it submitted, because we're 3 weeks out for initial plan review. So it can at least get in the queue while we're waiting for that 21-day appeal period. And hopefully, if everything's submitted up correctly the first time, Bob can review it and he can get ready to push the button when you bring me the certificate of no appeal that you have to file with the registry of deeds. Okay, I just need your signature on the site plans, so I can put it with, did you want to amend, you want the exhibits attached, correct?
yes.
Okay.
And no changes were made to that initial plan that we reviewed, correct?
No,
No,
nothing's
Mr.
been
Chair.
changed. If you can just sign these for me, Julie.
Yep.
And that just becomes part of the decision. Just put your signatures right there. Okay. You're all set.
Chairman, members of the board, thank you very much for your
You're
time. We
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming back. Good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Do you have the findings written for me?
No,
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll type it up.
Okay. And then just email them to me? Yep, that's fine.
All right. So then, anyone have anything on the minutes?
I read through and didn't say anything, but Mr. Yeomans usually finds
He
something.
usually always finds something that I've done on my minutes.
He usually finds something on the minutes that needs to be fixed. You do.
Well, yeah,
I didn't see anything.
that comes with breeding them.
Well, he did the last time.
Yeah, every
that
once
a
in a while
trend?
we'll have some that there's nothing to correct. Usually, no. Katrina does a great job.
Thanks.
No, the minutes are very easy to go through.
Just on the review of the 222 meeting minutes,
Yep,
the back of the last week, just
Oh.
missing a
yep, I see
slash
it.
on the date.
Slash. Yep.
The slash.
Good eye.
Otherwise, it looks like it was 2/22/24.
Yeah.
Getting way ahead.
Way
of
in
myself.
advance.
Way ahead of
200
myself.
years from now.
Not too far away.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
I did have a question. Did they end up doing the additional assessments, or was it
No,
they didn't even get that far?
because we were supposed to have a third-party review with Jeff Walsh, but it didn't have to go there.
It didn't have to go there
because they weren't in the
immediately.
water supply.
It wasn't in the,
But we found that out
Supply.
like right afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
When I woke up and realized it.
It's okay.
It's all right. You own it.
We're
It's
all
fine.
human.
Yes,
we make
we
mistakes
are.
every now and then. Like I said,
Surprising that they didn't catch it.
well,
Yeah.
Julie said, she's like, we were talking, why was it? I'm like, well, why didn't one of you say something? Like, I'm human. I make mistakes. I admit it. Like, you should
Yeah.
have just said something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could
It's okay.
contest.
It's all good.
All done. Do we have anything else coming?
Yeah, we've got to pick a date. I have 2 cases that have come in and a third that will be coming in the next week or so.
We just need a motion to accept the minutes.
so moved?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Yeoman,
Yes,
Mr. Mejia,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yeps.
Chairman votes yes, so the April 24th minutes are accepted.
in addition to the video, these are the, those are the points that we made.
All right, so we have 2 cases, is that 2 and 1 on the way?
Yeah, so one is over on Bedford Drive. It's the little tiny postage stamp size lots. They're gonna tear down a garage and a breezeway and put in a 2-car garage with a room above. So there's that one. And then we have Mr. Attorney Lane is appealing a decision written by Bob of 25 East Street garage. So he wants to come before us. And then lovely 9 Logan Path is coming back again.
Where's that?
That's the house that it is now under the 3rd owner that's right on Lake Ripple that we've had
Oh,
2
yeah,
previous
yeah.
people. So someone else just bought it again and is now trying to rebuild it again. So he's coming back before us because the special permit's expired.
Had anyone rebuilt it?
No,
So it's
still in
it's
disrepair.
jumped from owner to owner?
Yes. Yes.
So they're seeking the same,
Pretty much, yeah.
okay.
Yep. So that one's, he had to adjust his site plan. And we needed a couple things fixed on his site plan before he could submit. Because we couldn't write what he was requesting till the site plan was corrected. So that should be coming in the next week. So, so the 65th day, the first one that's come in is Lane. The 65th day is July 11th. So I don't think we want to go. The week before is July 4th. So that's out. So we're looking at either June. I'd be hard pressed to get anything done by the 6th because I'm waiting for that other case to come in. It would be either the 13th or the 20th. I don't know if we want to go down to the 27th because that's getting in.
Holidays.
Oh, No, actually, the holiday weekend's before the 20th. June 20, or no, yeah, the 27th.
I'm not
I mean,
actually away that week.
4th of July is a week later, but so
So what week, June 20?
probably June 20th. I don't know what Bill McCusker's schedule is. I forgot to ask him, but
What about you, Brian?
Well, if we have
Could we do the 19th?
enough people,
Wednesday the 19th. I don't see why not. Let me just make sure I can get this room. We should be able to get this room. Let me see.
is a 40B,
Not yet. It hasn't been submitted yet.
Which one?
Snow Road.
Oh, yeah.
That has not hit yet. And just to keep you guys posted to Fisherville, we've issued 3 market rate COs, and we will be issuing the first affordable CO
Oh, wow.
this week.
Good.
Let me see. What are we looking at? What did you say, the 19th, Brian?
Yeah.
I can get this room on the 19th. If we want to do Wednesday.
Yeah, if we could, that'd be much better for me.
That works for me.
Jiffy, does June 20th work for you? It's a Wednesday?
19th.
19.
Nine.
19th,
19th?
right?
Jeez.
19th, yeah,
Write it
that
down.
works.
And then I'll email Peter
does that
and
work for you?
Yeah, that should work. I have a,
19th?
I have an event on the 18th, but I think it's in Boston. There's nothing that is coming after. It's kind of like a week-long thing, but I don't, as of right now, I think the 19th works.
Okay. All right, I'll email Bill and then I'll book everything out and let everybody know that that's when those hearings are.
All right.
Cool.
So we'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
Yes.
Mr. Mejia,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. We're adjourned.
Good night, Jeffrey.